Welcome to historic Old Town Peoria. Thank you for joining us for the live grand opening of the Community Assistance Resource Center. Located in the Peoria Community Center at 8335 West Jefferson, this new facility is a partnership between the City of Peoria and, at this time, 11 nonprofit groups that provide assistance, training, and opportunity to the citizens of Peoria. Services provided include financial, healthcare, child development, nutrition, adaptive programs, and more. Peoria residents can get information, attend workshops, sign up for assistance, or consult with experts for a variety of needs in this dynamic new facility.
Wow, how awesome was that? Let's give him another round of applause. Great job, great job. I tell you, I want to start every meeting that way. That's a great way. Everybody's got a smile on their face. It's a packed audience. Welcome, everybody. I'm Chris Hallett. I'm proud to be the director of the new Neighborhood and Human Services Director who oversees this fantastic building and in charge of what we're going to outline today in a lot of glorious fashion, as you saw with that kickoff here. So we couldn't have done it without a lot of help and support, many years of sweat and equity, and we're going to be spending some time here this morning thanking a whole host of people, none of which we couldn't thank anymore for the undying support is our mayor and council who helped provide us the support and financing to get where we're here today to build out this wonderful building. We have 2,000 square feet of addition to the building to add. Right now, currently 11 nonprofits that are going to better serve our community here, right here in the heart of the city of Peoria. So up first, again, fresh off her tour of the state of the city, we have our mayor, who, Mayor, I hope this help puts a notch in the complete city and most livable part of Peoria that we believe we already have here today. So please help me welcome Mayor Kathy Carlett.
Thank you, Chris. Yes, it certainly does put a notch in the belt that we need for the complete city. So good morning. Gosh, it's so great to see so many people here today. And it is an honor for me to be here as we celebrate the opening of our Community Assistance Resource Center. You know, the city of Peoria is really known for offering an exceptional quality of life for our residents. We have diverse housing options, top-rated schools, and some of the very best public services available. Our parks and recreation facilities are nationally ranked and serve hundreds of thousands of people every single day. Our streets and water systems are thoughtfully planned, safe, and reliable. And we rest easy every night knowing that our first responders are committed to serving and protecting our city all day, every day. But even with all that we have, a community is only as strong as its people. The well-being of every person and every family in our community strengthens our whole community. And beginning today, this center will provide the access that we need for the opportunities for health, stability, and self-sufficiency. None of this would have been possible, though, without a courageous leader with a big heart. Councilmember Patena, since you took office, you have been committed to expanding human services to enhance the well-being of our residents. You weren't afraid to dream big, and you weren't afraid to think of new ways to go above and beyond the status quo. You gave this project hope and confidence. And now, because of your efforts, we have more than 11 organizations standing ready to serve and support Peoria residents. On behalf of the entire City Council and the entire city of Peoria, thank you for your compassion and thank you for your leadership. There is an old saying that says, "We rise by lifting others." And this center is here to lift. It's here to boost the very core of our community with the resources to assist our residents as they strive to live their very best lives. What an honor it is to be here today. Thank all of you for being here, and it's a great celebration. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate that. You know, every great community service and program and facility like this has to belong and serves the citywide Peorians, has to be somewhere, and I know our next speaker is very proud that it's in her district. It's one of many gems here in the Acacia District, so please help me welcome Mayor Pro Tem Vicki Hunt.
Well, thank you for that warm welcome, and thank you, Chris, for saying those nice things. Wow, it is a big audience. Look at all of you. And I just like to think that you're here not to hear us, but really to celebrate this wonderful event and this wonderful resource center that we're opening today. And I think we have some leaders from other Valley cities. Could I see if we do have any of you here? I thought we were going to. Okay. Pardon? They're in the back. Are they shy? Well, I do want to point out, thank you very much to those of you who came to support us, but in the spirit of support to our neighboring cities, would like to point out that while we have the gym here, there are so many resources throughout our valley, and thanks to Surprise, who helped pay for this booklet. They paid, from what I understand, for the Spanish version of this booklet. So this covers the entire West Valley, and we're so proud. First opened in 1982, this community center has really long been the heartbeat of Peoria. Paula Considine, who is, you know I was going to say your name, didn't you? Who I'll just say runs this. She really is the heartbeat of this particular facility, has been here for 30 years. Let's give her a... And it doesn't matter what time, day or night, I think she has a bed in the back because she is here. So thank you, Paula. I don't believe this would be what it is today without your vision, your leadership, your enthusiasm, your energy, and certainly your support. And I know you're very happy to have this relief coming, aren't you? And then also by way of paying tribute to this particular facility that's already here, Josie Salas has been with our, you want to raise your hand and... Josie has been here for 33 years. It's good to work in Peoria. It really is. She's so special in her job. She's director of the CAP office, and what I think endears her to us and to the people she serves is that she has been here for so long. She knows the backstories. She knows the people who have lived in not just Old Town, but other parts of Peoria. She's known them for, some of them, 33 years. She knows their needs before they ask, and sometimes they may be too frail to actually ask, but she knows their needs. Josie, you are just a jewel in our crown here, and we couldn't be what we are today without you, so thank you. And I know you're happy to see this come, give you some relief also. So when we say community center, we really mean the center or the gathering place for people, all kinds of people in need, and some not visible need. We have classes to keep older people in shape and so on. That's great. This facility, and I'll probably leave out some of the things you do, but they serve teens, they serve special needs, they serve seniors, physical fitness. They have a program with WHAM for Veterans Art for Healing. And if you had been here this morning, you would have been trampled by folks picking up food boxes, and this happens every Thursday morning. Okay, so we had this building here since 1982. It was getting old, and so our first renovation was in 2013. And I'm very blessed to have been on the council at that time. And I'm also very proud to say that the renovations that were done on this are LEED certified. And we have, LEED, of course, means, approved by the EPA standards, and it's one of the highest awards you can get, or certifications. And we have not only our higher level staff, Jeff Tyne, and I believe it was Carl at the time, but council, and then another very special person to us, Ed Striffler, who was in charge of our new program, but was also in charge of the renovation of this program. And he absolutely demands the highest quality in workmanship. And rightly so, because everything he touches gets LEED certification. I don't know where he is right now. I know he's somewhere here. Oh, everybody's pointing. Ed, you're the best. Thank you for all you do. And he's out here in a hard hat more than he is anywhere else. It's been my pleasure, my extreme pleasure, to serve on the not-for-profit board for Peoria for over 10 years. I served with Mr. Patena before he was on city council. He was actually worked in the trenches with all these people prior to that. So he has a real heart for this. And through my service on that board, that not-for-profit board, I've come to recognize not only a lot of amazing people who help, but the people in need. And we really have, they may not all be apparent needs, but we all sometimes need a little help. We have lost a loved one, and we just need some support getting through that. This facility will offer that. I'm very proud to say that we have other special people that have worked long and hard before we had this amazing facility. And I want to give kudos and special thanks to Debbie Pearson. Raise your hand. She has been in the trenches for years, and I mean literally, counting the homeless. She has been in the trenches, in the riverbeds, in the bushes, in the brambles, and so has Bill, for that matter. I also want to thank Karen Imig and her entire staff, because I know how hard they work. If you work with a federal government agency, boy, do you put in your time. And they do that every day. And they work with HUD, they work with Habitat for Humanity. They're absolutely dedicated. And Karen, please pass that along to your staff. They're probably here today, but if they're not, please tell them that they are so much appreciated. The groups that are coming in here will provide the very heartbeat of Peoria. They will send up a beacon high into the sky and say, this is the place to come for help. And as Habitat likes to say, not a handout, but a hand up. And I think that's what we offer here. That's what we already offer, and we're going to do even a more concise job of it. We have already served thousands and thousands of people for years. But we're going to be able to serve more people in a more concise manner here. Seniors, Foundation for Senior Living, stepping it up, Medicare planning. Some of us are already, if you're at a certain age, you need the Medicare planning, right? For kids and teens and work, the JAG program, Bloom 65, WIC, Women, Infants, and Children, the Child Crisis Center, jobs, JAG, Arizona at Work, utility assistance, which we all know the woman in Sun City passed away due to extreme heat in her home, and her air conditioning had been put off. St. Vincent de Paul will be housed here and will help people with utility assistance. I am proud to be a part of the solution here. I couldn't be prouder than to join all of you today in saying thanks to everyone who has made this happen. I can't wait to cut that ribbon.
Thank you, Mary Pro Tem Hunt. Yes, very proud moment. And before I introduce our last council member speaker, I want to thank the other council members that are here in attendance, Councilmember Danette Dunn and Councilmember John Edwards. Thank you for your support and coming here today. So a proud moment indeed, and probably no one more proud than our next speaker. Both started this as an employee of the city of Peoria and has continued this staunch advocacy and support for human services as a council member. So please help me welcome Council Member Bill Patena.
Thank you, Chris. It's always tough following the mayor. She does a great job. That's why she's the mayor. Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you all for being here to celebrate an amazing day for the city of Peoria. The Resource Center is really going to be something special, and I'm so happy to be here today. I could barely contain my excitement. So, as I was preparing my speech for this morning, I realized that, well, I've been preparing this speech for 15 years. And let me explain why. I've been retired from the city of Peoria now for 10 years. And I can remember talking with Karen Imig 5 years before I retired about this particular program. Back then, we referred to this program as a one-stop shop. Today, it's called a resource center. Back then, we thought we would have 3 or 4 not-for-profits assisting our citizens. Today, our citizens will have access to over 200 not-for-profits. Thankfully, their vision was much brighter than mine. Debbie, Karen, your work behind the scenes has not gone unnoticed. Talking to all the organizations and asking them to forego their funding for 1 year, which I'm sure was a hardship for many. Then visiting other cities that have programs similar to this one to ensure our citizens will be getting the best services they can. Thank you both for keeping the dream alive. So, not only am I excited for me, I'm excited for the staff in this city, but I'm mostly excited for the citizens of Peoria. Today begins a new era in the area of amazing service to our entire community. You know, sometimes the city is the first call for citizens who are seeking assistance, and sometimes it's the last call. Usually the last call is one of desperation. It was always very difficult for me to tell citizens that we could not assist them. We often tried to find some help for them, but we were never sure if we connected with them with someone who might be able to help them. I believe those days are now over. Citizens will now be able to get the help they need, and I know that we cannot be possibly all things to all people, but this resource center is a huge step in the right direction for our citizens. I'd like to thank our mayor, the city council, for believing in this project and supporting it as well. I also want to thank Jeff Tyne, Andy Granger, Eric Strunk, Chris Hallett, Ed Striffler, Chris Hawkes, Debbie Pearson, and Karen Imig and her staff for finding appropriate space and money to make this project happen. I'd also like to thank the construction company of CORE for including our special need adults in this construction process. I'm pretty sure that this construction project is one that you will long remember. This project had a lot of moving parts that had to be dealt with to make it happen. We needed to find money, appropriate space, and not-for-profits that wanted to participate in this project. The City of Peoria has appropriated money for over 60 nonprofits. Nearly $1 million every year go to these nonprofits, and we've been doing this for over 25 years. And before we fund these organizations, we always want to know how many Peorians they're going to be serving. One of the problems that existed was that while they were serving Peorians, it was difficult to bring the two together. The not-for-profits were not housed in Peoria and oftentimes could not find appropriate space to meet the client, or the client could not travel to Mesa, Scottsdale, Phoenix, where the not-for-profits had their offices. This resource center solved that problem immediately. We already have many not-for-profits waiting in the wings to assist our citizens in many ways. In our resource guide, we have over 200 not-for-profits that are listed that will be available to our citizens on a daily basis. What an amazing statistic. The tagline that accompanies the resource center is, "Where need meets kindness." I cannot think of a better phrase that describes this project. The well-being of every person and every family in our community strengthens our whole community. This center provides access opportunities for health, stability, and self-sufficiency, said our mayor, Kathy Carlett. This resource center is going to touch citizens in so many ways it's difficult to describe. I believe this resource center is going to raise the livability in Peoria even further. Peoria, as you know, is already the best city to live in Arizona. This is going to make it even better. So, I'm finally happy to be part of this great experience. This is a great day for the city of Peoria, and thank you to all of you.
Thank you, Councilmember Patena. Yes, very proud minute for all of us, and we're excited to be here in front of you all, and we couldn't do it alone. I mean, yes, the support of mayor and council, absolutely. Thank you all again for your support then and now and in the future. But this hall is filled with people supporting this one way or another. And there's many, many stakeholders. This hall is filled, by the way, over here as well. And this room is filled. And we're doing this. This is all about service, and we're in a service center while services are continuing to happen. So I appreciate everybody's attendance here this morning amidst all this, and it was great again to have the ukuleles. And if you hear people's names mentioned more than once, it's because they really, really meant a lot to this project. So I apologize for repeating anything, but just want to provide a little cleanup here before we get to the ribbon cutting of this fantastic resource center. So we wouldn't be here without a whole host of people. Councilmember Patena mentioned Core Construction. They're the contractors who built this and provided some of the refreshments we have here this morning. We're joined by President Todd Seffin and Scott Raymore, Chris Carbone, and his team. Let's give them a round of applause. You know, they really were a great contractor for this. There's endless stories of their compassion with the day users of this facility. They were kind enough to install a video system so they all could see what was disrupting their day, and they would join them for lunch. I've never met a contractor that was more compassionate and better fit for this job. In addition, they helped us, and I want to thank Council Members Patena and Edwards for the beam signing. So you won't be able to see it, but the major beam and the major edition of this has everybody's signature, the council members, and a lot of staff that came out there, again, showing all that support. I want to give thanks to DFDG Architecture, Chad Billings, Principal, and Mike Vivian, Project Architect are here. Thank you. In our own Peoria Engineering Department, you heard Mr. Ed Striffler and his associate Lisa Rodriguez, who started the same day I did. Her first project, very well done. Thank you. We have, again, Paula Considine and her staff, as well as Karen Imeg and Debbie. They all are the brain trust behind the actual implementation, the day-to-day oversight, picking out everything. You're going to love how it looks in there, so thank you. Let's see. Our Information Technology Department, you won't see probably a whole lot what's going on, but it's all up there and in there. So I do want to thank, and I see we have the IT director here today, as well as Alan Eubanks and Nanette Weaver. Thank you for all your participation in this project. You know, Mayor Pro Tem Hunt mentioned the sustainability lead certification that we received on various different aspects of this construction throughout the years. One of the things that was an interesting story in the space that the build-out was done, we had an adaptive playground in that space that wasn't really being used too much, and we hate to see it. It was lightly used, and we wanted to repurpose it. And I think it took 1 or 2 different nonprofits to get it to a nonprofit that had it on their wish list. So that was a great story, as well as the furniture you see in there is repurposed. It's never been used. It's left over from another project that we had at a city. So we made the maximum use of all these funds that went here because it was a short rededication of service providing dollars to come build out this, which will continue to serve the community for years. Let's see, we have special thanks. We couldn't have done this. We had to model this after something. We had a lot of years to think about it. And I want to give thanks to Avondale's First Care Resource Center. And I see Seth Dyson is here from Surprise. And their resource center, they're very invaluable in providing us guidance support, the do's and the don'ts, and the lessons learned on their facility. So thank you very much and for your support here today. I want to recognize all my peers that are here today. We have Police Chief Art Miller is here. We have our Planning Director, Chris Hawkes, Public Works Director, Kevin Burke, Water Services Director, new Water Services Director, Kate Powers. And I want to thank our Office of Communication, Jen Stein, who was here, and her staff early, along with Karen and Debbie and Kelly Kincaid to manage the press. We had great press coverage this morning. And so thank you all for that. And of course, I want to thank all 11 nonprofit providers that put in to be a service provider here. We still have room. It's very important. Everybody know out there, we have room on half-day shifts throughout the week in this shared space that you're about to see. So if you're still interested in looking for space, we have it. Please reach out. So without further ado, let's get on to the ribbon cutting. Get your cameras out, and if I could have all the dignitaries come over to the ribbon, we'll proceed with that. And then we welcome and encourage everybody to take a tour of the facility right after that.
The impact of this project is going to be twofold. First of all, it's bringing services to the west side, direct services for our citizens in need. And second of all, it's going to be a great opportunity for the nonprofits to have exposure to our citizens, because throughout my needs and assets assessments that I've done, there is a clear fact that nonprofits are not known about by many of the citizens. So this will be a wonderful opportunity working both ways. I am so excited about this project. It is something that Council has been wishing for many years. The need is out there in the community, in this whole region. So now we have services that we can offer to our citizens to help them have the best quality of life that they can.